I want to go to a high level real quick. Give that elevator pitch on what Exchange is. What's the benefit to them of this platform? What are they getting out of their membership with Nationwide and being able to access this Exchange platform?
The biggest benefit is it does save them time. Traditionally, the member-vendor relationship is usually one-on-one. So they have the ability now to go in there and search for products from 20 different resources as opposed to having to make 20 different phone calls or 20 different site views. And then the other thing is just the competitive analysis capabilities.
Welcome into the Independent Thinking Podcast. This is your host, Rob Stott. Wrapping up our coverage on this podcast from the Oasys Summit in Nashville in mid-May. We've got they say you save the best for last, right? We won't tell the previous two Oasys Summit interviews that's the case, but if you're listening, we love you all equally, and excited to get this last interview up because it's with one of our team members here at Nationwide, Randy Derr, Director of Exchange and Distribution here at Nationwide, and the Exchange platform is one that we've had Randy on the podcast before to talk about what Exchange is and the benefits it provides, but not nearly enough. It's a platform that I think is he does such a great job and has done and continues to do such a great job building out the capabilities of what Exchange provides to our members. And if you're not familiar with it, we dive into it, and that cold open clip gave you a little bit of a preview, but it's the ability, like Randy says, to just be able to save time and money by having one place where you can shop across over a dozen different distribution partners and brands that are on there, and probably hundreds of thousands of SKUs that are available at the few clicks of a button right to our members here at Nationwide Marketing Group. And that's just kind of touching the tip of the iceberg with what Exchange can do for a business. So lots of updates since we last talked to him. To the platform, to the user interface, to just the experience on Exchange. So figured while we were together, what better way to hear about those updates than by sitting down with him directly and having him on the podcast. So that's what we did and had some fun doing it. So, I'll let him kind of take the reins from here and explain what else has been going on with Exchange. But, we'll dive into it. This is Randy Derr, Director of Exchange here on the Independent Thinking Podcast.
All right, we are back on the Independent Thinking Podcasts once again. We're here in Nashville for the Oasys Summit, Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, keeping us busy, keeping us on our toes, and having a lot of fun, Mr. Randy Derr.
We absolutely are. The event last night, the scavenger hunt was a success, big hit.
It was a lot of fun.
It was.
Neat way to, we were talking about this. I don't know many cities could handle a thing like that. Going out and meeting strangers and just having some fun on camera. And but you talk about networking with one another, networking with a whole bunch of Nashville visitors or locals was a lot of fun.
I'm kind of jealous because some of the teams got to do some things that I wish my team would have had the opportunity to do, like try on some strangers' boots, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So things like that, I'm like, or the disco dancing without somebody seeing
Don't
you.
get caught, yep.
Right?
It was a good time.
So, yeah, it was good.
No, we've had some fun, but, obviously fun is only a part of what goes on here at the Oasys Summit. And, a lot of updates to Exchange to talk about. But before we even dive into that, I want to start here at the summit. What have these few days been like for you? And representing Exchange here at Oasys in front of our CI community. What's that like? And what's your approach to an event like this?
So anytime we can get in front of the membership, show them what Exchange is and how it can help them benefit and grow their business. It's been an eye-opening experience for them. So the more events we can participate in like this, and in fact, this is the first time we actually had our own table, and we're able to set up some one-on-ones and had a couple of breakout sessions. The feedback's been phenomenal, right? So for me, it's been a great experience, and I'm looking forward to continue to do those kind of things at these events.
Talk about those roundtables. I actually, unfortunately, didn't have a chance to sit in on one, but what did I miss out on as someone that didn't sit in on a Exchange roundtable?
Yeah, so with each member, it might be a little bit different approach, right? More about what their challenges are with getting into the website, looking for the particular brand or vendor partner that they have a relationship with. It may be, some feedback on what they would like to see the platform be able to provide to them with regards to resources and information. So each conversation is really a little bit differently, and that's kind of the way I came into this event, right? Being open-minded, because the only way Exchange gets better is by getting the feedback that we're getting from the membership.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to steal a question from one of our trade partners that was here that talked with you, and I thought it was a great one, and you did too, because that's immediately what you followed up with. You were like, that's a great question. The one thing, that you'd love for a member to take away from this experience, what would that be, from the Exchange standpoint?
The ability to utilize it in your day-to-day business, right? We say it all the time. It is kind of like a catchphrase, but it gives them the ability to save a lot of time when they're looking for particular products, to solve a solution that they may have, and to provide them with competitive pricing, right? I know that some of our vendor partners don't like the fact that there's competitive pricing available across multiple options. At the end of the day, though, it's been my experience that they're all probably relatively close in pricing. It just keeps them honest.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're here to serve our membership, and it's a better situation for them.
No, that's awesome, and love that message, about serving the membership. And you talked about it too, like the fact that there are so many different ways members go about using this platform, and things that this platform does for them in return. A lot of updates since we've chatted about Exchange, and my head's spinning like, where do we even start? Right, because it's a constantly growing platform. I think I heard you say the number earlier, 12 CE specific distributors on the platform now.
That is today,
Today,
and that list continues to grow.
Yeah, so I mean that's just one area that Exchange has grown. But what are some of the other important updates that have in the last year or so to the platform that stand out to you?
So one of the big ones that we took action on was we did a survey about a year ago, and our members expressed challenges with the clunkiness of the website, right? Searching for product, too many clicks, and things of that nature, right? So I look at the metrics on a regular basis, and user adoption has grown exponentially. The number of sessions has grown exponentially. The number of orders that are being placed through the website have grown exponentially. But the amount of time that a session lasts has dropped dramatically.
Oh, cool.
And it's because we improved the search function, right?
Yeah.
Accessibility to finding the products that they want, and even processing an order and submitting the order.
Right.
So from that standpoint, we've hit the mark and addressed that
well, and
situation.
It makes I mean, it's funny to think about, but your approach to Exchange is similar to how a retailer should be approaching their own website, right? Is you want to minimize the friction between searching for a product and that end checkout experience.
Right.
And neat to see it sort of play out in one of our own platforms, right?
Yeah, and it's quite honestly, it took me a couple of minutes to kind of say, why would that be dropping? Oh, that's why we addressed that issue.
That's
right.
I mean, less time on site sounds, media standpoint, that's a negative, right? But in reality, when it comes to this experience, you want them to be spending less time from login to that checkout experience. So.
Exactly, yeah. So that was one. The other one would be the continuation and expansion of the offerings on Exchange. We've grown from about, I want to say, 6,000 or 7,000 offerings about a year ago to today to about 30,000 offerings. Wow. And that list will just continue to grow and grow and grow. Yeah. Based on what we're ingesting from our vendor partners that we're integrated with. Okay.
So I want to go to a high level real quick to what this platform is for someone that might be listening that, they didn't hear our previous talks on this platform. To give that elevator pitch on what Exchange is and, how it, from a retailer's perspective or a custom integrator's perspective, what's the benefit to them of this platform? What are they getting out of, their membership with Nationwide and being able to access this Exchange platform?
Yeah, so the biggest benefit is it does save them time, right? Because traditionally, the member-vendor relationship is usually one-on-one, right? Mm-hmm. So if a member wants to buy some product from them, they either have to pick up a phone and call them, or they have to go to that particular vendor partner's portal if they have a portal, right? In this instance, we aggregate information from today. Outside of just CE, there's about 20 vendors up there, right? So they have the ability now to go in there and search for products from 20 different resources, as opposed to having to make 20 different phone calls or 20 different site views and things of that nature. So saving time is important. Plus, they have access to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they can transmit orders at any given time to the vendor partner. And then the other thing is just the competitive analysis capabilities, right? To see, making sure that, they're getting a fair price for the product that they want to buy, or receiving a fair price for the product that they want to buy. And also finding out where inventory is at by warehouse location, and who has it and who can get it to them quickly. So those are probably the three biggest benefits that eXchange provides the membership.
It's awesome. Another two, we talked about this a little bit earlier today, the ability to experiment, right, with their own inventory, and lineup, and particularly with their websites. So there's an integration, right? I don't know if is it tied specifically to RWS or Retailer Web Services sites?
At this point in time, it is not, because there's some back-end functionalities and improvements that I know the RWS Site on Time team is making to their platform to afford us, long-term down the road, the opportunity to integrate the eXchange website or product offerings that are in eXchange today, so that it's a seamless, integration, and those members can then add that product to their website, right?
So still to come,
right? They can do that today. They can add any product that they want to their website. What we're trying to do is build a seamless transaction where a member comes in, or a consumer comes in, sees the product on a member's website, adds it to a cart, and then long-term, eventually, utopia would be, they just submit the order, and it goes processed through eXchange, right to the vendor partner, and then the product gets shipped to either the consumer or to the retailer for buy online, pick up in store.
But still, like that idea that it's the ability to add a product, test out. Maybe it's a new category that you haven't been able to sell, or don't know if it would work for you. You have that ability to experiment with it. Without the in-store, in your warehouse, your own warehouse, taking up space, I think is a really awesome added benefit that probably I don't think it personally gets talked about enough.
It does not, right? Because when, traditional retail thinking is, if I'm going to, put something up on my website, I have to bring inventory in and put it on display. In this case, you don't have to, right? So to your point, there's a lot of different seasons throughout the course of the year. There's a lot of different products that, are relevant to those seasons, so they can, get in and get out pretty quickly without having to make any investment in displays and floor samples.
You mentioned some of the, utopia situations. What are some of those things without, I don't want you to give away secret sauce or secrets that are going to make it so that I can't leave Nashville in one piece, but, what are some of those things that you're thinking about that you want to see with this platform, over time?
So one of the things we did this past year was we integrated with D-Tools, right? eXchange is now a vendor partner on D-Tools. There's a possibility that we may look at a few of those other project management tools and do the same thing with those, right? So that's I think that's an opportunity that's probably closer to happening than longer down the road, right? The integration is one of them that we just talked about. But as a service, I think, scaling it to maybe offer it to retailers outside of our network, right?
Okay.
That would be an unbelievable opportunity and situation for the platform itself.
No,
just like D-Tools is a platform that can be subscribed to by any custom installer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing could happen with the eXchange.
It makes sense because it's all web based, right? So it's a easy Well, I say easy. I know there's a lot of back end work that gets done to make it the platform it is, but just that would be a unique opportunity and area for growth there. But it kind of all boils down to something we've heard a lot about this week, and that's efficiency and streamlining things. And I know those are kind of buzzwordy terms in the industry, but to your point, and you think about some of the things we talked about already right here, just how it improves business and saves time and saves money. Like that's important at the end of the day. So to see sort of what you're doing with eXchange and how it applies to the conversations that are happening, like it's clear that this is an area of emphasis and something that is important to not just this whole space, but you in particular, and kind of what's going on with eXchange. And neat to see. There's a lot of work's been going on.
Very much so. And like I had mentioned to somebody earlier, we've made a lot of improvements over the past couple of years, but we're still at the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more we can do with it, right? Long term. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, lot to come for sure. So I know we'll have to make sure that it's not another year before we talk.
No, absolutely not. But appreciate the time, and we'll do it again.
Absolutely, we'll get back out there and keep spreading the word about eXchange.
Appreciate it.
We'll help you where we can too.
Appreciate that.
Awesome, thanks, man.
Yep.
Awesome. And thanks again to Randy. Like I said, tons of updates to eXchange and what they've got going on, what he's got and his team have going on with the platform, and, building out those capabilities and making it a tool that is second to none in this industry, and just, kind of at the core of what we do here at Nationwide, making, things easier for independent retailers and allowing them to streamline business and save time and money. So we appreciate his updates on the platform and look forward to continuing to follow that story. But as always, appreciate you listening to the Independent Thinking Podcast, and we'll catch you next time.